Everyone's not a candidate for a silk press.
I said what I said.
Now, before we turn this into a debate, let me explain why I feel this way. Because if you've ever gotten a silk press only for your hair to puff up or revert an hour later, this video is for you. Today, I'm going to talk about how to properly prepare your hair if it's damaged, dehydrated, or if you've worn it in its natural state for an extended period of time so that you can get a silk press that lasts longer than just your car ride home. Let's get into it. I've noticed that with clients who have been heat free for years, such as in the case of wearing back to back braids or wash and goes, two strand twists, etc., their hair usually doesn't hold when it comes to a silk press. And let's talk about why that might be the case. So what I've noticed with clients who wear wash and goes primarily, their hair has experienced moisture overload. Now don't get me wrong, natural hair loves moisture, but too much before a silk press equals instant reversion. And this is because they're usually re-wetting their hair every day and just trying to find ways to keep it moisturized. And if they aren't spraying it with something water-based, or they might be doing both, but they're using a lot of heavy butters, oils, or gels. And these products create a barrier so they block the heat from fully penetrating sometimes. And when hair hasn't had heat for years and may have products build up, you definitely have to clarify that hair and incorporate protein treatments so that the hair can hold the press. This is why when clients come in and they're experiencing either severe dehydration, moisture overload, and haven't had heat on the hair in years, we have to prep the hair, and this process starts weeks before they actually want the silk press. I like to start prepping the client's hair about 4 weeks before they actually want the silk press. And the first thing that I do during the initial appointment is go in with a detox shampoo. I like the one by Way that gently cleanses the hair. This is to remove any and all product buildup from the hair and also to prepare it for any subsequent treatments. After I detoxify the hair, of course, I go in either if it's super dehydrated with a hydrating shampoo and a moisturizing conditioner, or if the hair is experiencing moisture overload, I go in with a protein heavy shampoo and conditioner. After addressing the protein and or moisture concerns, I then use a light leave-in conditioner and heat protectant and blow dry the client's hair. And after that, the client would get something like cornrows or flat twists. The goal with this initial appointment is just to address any protein or moisture issues, remove any buildup from the hair, and start the process of using heat on the hair. And during this time, I tell the clients not to use any heavy oils or butters or any heavy products, period, on the hair because we want to prevent product buildup for the next visit. At the next appointment, which I schedule 2 weeks after the initial appointment, I do the same thing. And during this appointment, I'm paying attention to how the hair behaves. Does it still show signs of moisture overload? Does it show signs of protein overload? Is the hair dehydrated? If the hair behaves and shows me any one of those things, then it is not ready for the silk press. And we try again in 2 weeks. So honestly speaking, how long it takes to prepare your hair for a silk press really depends on your hair and what it's doing or what it isn't doing. Now, when I've decided that the hair is finally ready for a press, again, we're going to go through and make sure that hair is thoroughly clean, hydrated, and strengthened. So that would be a detox shampoo, a hydrating shampoo, and a strengthening shampoo used at that time. And then either a protein treatment or a hydrating treatment is incorporated. And then prepare the hair to be blow dried by using a lightweight leave-in conditioner and lightweight heat protectant and or a serum to help prevent frizz. How you blow dry the hair is very important and definitely affects the longevity of your silk press. My favorite blow dryer for silk presses is the Tymo Air Hype. It cuts drying time down in half, and with a comb attachment, it makes it really, really easy to get textured hair smooth. It also comes with a nozzle, so if you prefer to use a brush, that's an option as well. I'll leave a link in the description where you can find that blow dryer plus a code for 25% off. But again, the blow dry part is super important. You want to make sure the hair blow dries smoothly, that it's not poofy. If it's poofy, boom, you just need to stop right there and start over or ride it out for another 2 weeks because your hair is not ready and that silk press is not going to last. Once the hair has been properly blow dried, the pressing process is just as important. And my key tip is to use small sections. That way, the heat is evenly distributed on the hair. Taking large sections, you're not going to be able to effectively straighten your hair. Some parts are going to be straighter than others. Small sections. Use clips, section that hair into 4, 6, or 8 sections. But when you're going through with your flat iron, make those sections so small that you can see through them. And as far as heat settings, that depends on the texture of your hair. If your hair is fine, stay on the lower range of the heat settings, like 350. That's where you should max it out at. If you have medium hair, you can kind of get away with using between 360 and 390. And coarse hair, 400. I say no higher than 420 degrees because you don't want to run the risk of heat damage. And of course, always use a heat protected. Try not to pass that flat iron over your hair more than 2 times. And make sure your flat irons are clean before using them so that you're not transferring any product to that hair that we took our time to prepare for the silk press. Now, after your hair is pressed out, maintenance at home is key too. You want to avoid moisture. This includes steam in the shower. If you take hot showers, you're going to have to lower that temperature or you run the risk of reversion. Of course, you want to wrap your hair by using a silk or satin scarf at night. Again, avoid humidity and don't use oil on your hair. If you need something, use a serum, but not an oil. We don't want to weigh down that silk press. You want to avoid touching your hair too much. Oils from your hands equal frizz. And I know you don't want to hear this, but if you want it to last, you have to avoid sweating. And if you work out, you might want to hold off on that for a few days until you're ready for your silk press to start to revert because that's what's going to happen because it's moisture introduced to the scalp. These are tips that I use to help clients who haven't had heat on their hair in years keep a silk press that lasts longer than an hour. While you're here, let me know what your favorite silk press tips are in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe for more healthy hair tips. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.